Hi, it's me. I'm Bob. I'm back. And today I would like to have a special talk. I've been having some issues lately with my mailbox. And I think this might be something that might touch home to the rest of you. Any of you been getting anything like this in your mailboxes? Political advertisements, flyers and flyers for everybody possibly running anywhere near your living area. This is just the state of Oklahoma and Canadian County. It's gotten insane. Every day, more and more and more of this. And this is not cheap. When you purchase advertisement like this, it's got to get printed and mailed out. Now, of course, companies do this, so therefore, you're going to get your little flyer, and you may be only paying pennies on the pound for this, but it's every day, every week, over and over and over again. It adds up. The cost has to be staggering. So I've got some thoughts on the political races, specifically here in Oklahoma and Canadian County, where I live. But I want you to think how this affects you where you live. There's a unique quote, and this is what we're getting into today. This is a quote from Margaret Thatcher. If they attack you personally, it means they have not a single political argument left. I think there's so much more truth to that than anything else. I mean, it shouldn't just be a quote, it should just be a stated fact. How can you run an advertising campaign for your political life on look how bad my opponent is? I don't care how bad your opponent is. I want to know how good you are. And there's two campaigns I'd like to talk about here locally for Bob and where I live. First, I've got a campaign. I don't have a flyer for his opponent, but here's Tom Mansky, and he's running against Mark Hader. So far, it started out as a fairly decent campaign, but as it's gone on, mud has started to fly. Now, like I said, I don't have a Mark Hader flyer. I just never have received one, or if I did, it was a long time ago. Where this has gotten ugly is online. Take a look at the Facebook ads. So you don't even just get these anymore. You get them on Facebook in between every, show that you try to watch on YouTube, or every time you change programs on Facebook or watch a reel, you get this stuff, and it's crazy. If you don't have anything good to say about somebody, then just say something good about yourself. This race has not gotten too terribly muddy, but I will tell you, as far as little old Bob goes, I do have a favorite in this race. So next Tuesday, today is Sunday, next Tuesday, we only got 2 days, get ready to vote. Get out and do more than just read these flyers that come through. And I'm going to explain why you should not read these flyers that come through. With the next, it is our state Senate race here in Oklahoma. And Jack Stewart, there's a Jack Stewart thing, is running against Tyler Herring. And Tyler, I'm not real sure about where Tyler's going with this. And this is what got this video made today. Jack did a pretty good job his first round. Not going to have a lot to complain about Jack on this. So don't try to tell me how bad he is, since I voted for him once. I know him personally. If you don't know Jack personally, then it might be real easy for you to believe things like this. Isn't that a nice picture of Jack? AI is pretty good, isn't it? You can make people do anything you want them to do. Nice picture of Jack holding a stack of money, right? How about this one? Do you think Jack Stewart has ever hugged President Biden? I personally, I am very much about political satire. I love political satire. I even have been known to be part of political satire. But I will tell you this. I do not try to make pictures that sit there and show complete falsehoods. So how much money is going into this? Take a look at this. This is how much money and where some of this money is coming from. So why would companies from out of state be pushing money into Oklahoma state politics? Let's draw some lines here. All right. So there is more than 45,000 as of when I'm talking. So who knows what's going to happen in the next 2 days. But more than $45,000 pushed into this race from we don't know where. I believe the phraseology is they call it dark money. Don't know. Actually, not really sure what dark money is. But let's take a look at some of these places that are listed on this document. So we have Strategic Capital LLC. What is Strategic Capital LLC? Well, we've got an address here in Washington, D.C., so I looked it up online, and it's a shared office space. Excellent. So I tried to find out what type of businesses share the office space. And it is lobbyist and legal and counseling businesses. Okay, so we have a company here that's getting paid. It's either legal counseling or lobbying. Guess which one it is? It's a lobbyist. There's also Red Eagle Media Group. This one's in Alexandria, Virginia. So I tried to look this company up. It is a trade name or a fictitious name, working under a fictitious name. It's used by the National Media Research Planning and Placement LLC. Big name. What are they commonly known as? The national media. This is for political and issue advocacy and advertisement. So a company that is actually out making, they're, I guess, the ones that design stuff like this. And then lastly, if you take a look at the document here, you have the purple strategies. And I thought about this one because it doesn't give a lot of information on them. So did a deep search on the internet. Purple Strategy is not a traditional PR firm. It is a specialized consultancy that treats corporate reputational issues as political campaigns, using polling, data-informed strategy, and an aggressive messaging to help large institutions navigate public and regulatory scrutiny. What the heck does all this mean? The way I can figure this out is if you have a political or a campaign problem or a reputational problem, you go to these companies and they help you present yourself in the best light. All right, what's going on here? Well, I've got Mr. Herring, who's, I believe it's his wife and his father-in-law are lobbyists, and I believe his father has been, and I just say I believe, not 100% sure, but he's tied with Google data centers. If that's true, what are we looking at here? We're looking at companies that are trying to push a politician into our state, someone from the area of Canadian County, where Canadian County has at least 2 data centers trying to be pushed in that I know of, one in Yukon, one in Piedmont. Why would you want somebody that is familiarly tied to someone who works for the data centers? Why would you need that person in a state Senate seat? To me, that's kind of obvious. I am not comfortable with Tyler Herring. He may be a great guy, but I'm not sure in the situation that we find ourselves in Canadian County that this is a good fit. Now, if I hadn't done the deeper dive onto the different companies and things like this, I may not have been able to pull these together. Now, I could be totally off base too. You got to do your own research. But it appears to me that we've got some serious corporate money coming into a state race from outside our state, trying to figure out what's going on here. I would love to be wrong. I would love that the world is a better place than I'm seeing it. But I gotta call an apple and an orange and orange. So here we go. As far as the Stewart Herring race, Jack Stewart. As far as Hader and Mansky, I'm going Mansky. I'm not telling you that you have to. I'm just saying this is my logic. If you've got to attack people personally, if you've got to doctor a picture to make someone look bad, really, I've got questions about you, the people that you work with, the people that support you. Oh, of course, keep in mind that this piece of paper is not made by a political person. This is a private group. All right? Not authorized by any candidate or candidate committee. Authorized and paid for by Stand with Oklahoma PAC, 6608 Northwestern Avenue. Stand with Oklahoma PAC. Hang on. The address of 6608 Northwestern Avenue is an office located in Oklahoma City that is often used as a mailing address or registered agent location for various businesses and entities rather than being a site of a specific identifiable political headquarters. Stand with Oklahoma is either a slogan or campaign phrase used by various advocacy groups, or a very recently formed or small entity that may not yet appear in public business or election commission directories. So here's a group formed just for this campaign, great, throwing out hate mail. It doesn't sound up and up to me. Be careful out there. Vote Tuesday. Try your best to vote informed. I know where all this scary material is heading my votes. So please be careful with yours.